Okay, hey, what's up? Happy New Year to you guys out there. Well, Happy New Year for most people. As you can see here, January 1st, 2018 by BBC. This is in Star News Kenya. It's newspaper website here in Kenya, star.coke. You can check it out. Yeah, they got newspapers in Kenya for some of you who don't understand how other countries work. So, talking about not understanding how other countries work, North Korea is one of the countries that I think a lot of people don't really understand for many reasons. It's not called the Hermit Kingdom for nothing. There's very little information coming in out to the world about that place, let alone the amount of information going in. So when you talk about actual North Koreans and what's going on there, I don't think people have very few people in the world have even, I think, a small amount of knowledge about this. One person I've heard really speak well on it is Michael Malice. There's a few other people. I think Scott Horton may leave a link. I'll leave a link below to a Michael Malice talk with Tom Woods, or just Michael Malice himself talking about the issue in North Korea, but it is horrific. I just recently found out that I think it might have been the same soldier that was caught sneaking over the border and was shot at. They said they found some antibodies of anthrax antibodies in some people from North Korea. And now, what that normally means is these people are being vaccinated with these antibodies. So when they do use biological weapons like anthrax on their enemies, they actually end up getting to a situation where their soldiers are okay because they have antibodies against it. So now here we go with this thing with North Korea. What he said here said North Korean leader Kim Jong Un has said that he has a nuclear launch button on his desk at all times, so the U.S. will never be able to start a war. Now, part of this rhetoric with the U.S. not being able to start a war, I don't really understand this because in North Korea, for you who don't know, they still are at war with the United States of America. The United States of America is a great instigator. In their mythos of the state, of the country there, the war never stopped. They were the ones who initiated the Korean Wars that resulted in the split between North and South Korea, and they are supposedly the great Satan of that society. So that's one thing a lot of people in the United States of America have in common with a lot of North Koreans is they think the leader of at least the United States of America right now with Donald J. Trump is the great Satan. Because when this first came out, I saw some people commenting on it, and I was asking them, what do you guys actually mean? Do you actually think there's a nuclear button like in Wile E. Coyote where you just press a button and it automatically goes out? And this is the same thing I was asking during the election run-up for the United States of America presidential election. I was in a bar talking to a lady, and she was talking about how scary the nuclear codes thing is. And I was like, do you think it's like a snooze button on an alarm clock where you just wake up and hit it, and then all of a sudden some pre-programmed targets all, or it just unleashes all the nuclear arsenal of the United States of America? No, there's actually a process to this. But the reaction some people have, like I was asking people about this, do you think he just has this button where he just presses it and it automatically launches all the missiles? Like, let's say there's missiles targeted, I guess Pyongyang, not Pyongyang, I think Pyongyang is the capital of North Korea, if I'm not mistaken. Seoul, South Korea is the capital of South Korea, and I'm guessing they are probably some missiles towards that. So do they think it's a literal button that you can just press, like you can press the space button here, and that's how it happens? The way I press the space button, I just press the space button here, and then the screen moves. Do they think it's that clear? That's how immediate the launch is. Now in North Korea, like I said, I don't know how this process works, but I still don't think it happens that way. North Korean, I don't think Kim Jong Un is an idiot. I don't think the people are there. They are starved. They are limited in information. But in general, I don't think they're just complete idiots where you can just press a button like you're flipping a light switch and automatically it goes out. Well, so I'm trying to ask people who actually thinks it's just an immediate thing like that, and it seems some people actually do, especially when you see something response like this. Now, this is from Donald J. Trump, the President of the United States of America, the great Satan to a lot of people in North Korea, the great Satan to a lot of people in North America and a lot of other places as well. So North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has just stated that the nuclear button is on his desk at all times. Will someone please tell his depleted and food-starved regime? Will someone from his depleted and food-starved regime please inform him that I too have a nuclear button, but it is a much bigger and more powerful one than his, and my button works? Now, here is just some trollery from the troller in chief, the God Emperor of the United States of America, as we know him, Donald J. Trump. This is a regular thing that he does, and then people just head off in just complete panic. So you can see already some people, let's not play this game. First of all, it's not a game. Like, seriously, should the line be right here? I don't care what side you're on. What you're talking about nuclear war on Twitter, you twit. So these are people. This is what I'm wondering now. Do they actually think it's just some code? So I just checked. This is on Wikipedia, trying to find the information on how this would go about. How exactly would this happen? The gold codes are the launch codes of nuclear weapons provided to the President of the United States of America in the role of the Commander-in-Chief of the United States and the Armed Forces. In conjunction with the nuclear football, the gold codes allow the President to authorize a nuclear attack. The gold codes, as well as the separate nuclear football, are also assigned to the Vice President in case the President is incapacitated or otherwise unable to discharge the duties of the office pursuant to the 25th Amendment. Gold codes are arranged in a column and printed on a plastic card, nicknamed the biscuit. Now, I mean, people are talking about, oh, you're talking about nuclear war and things. But it's kind of funny, nuclear football, the biscuit. Okay, it's not kind of funny. Kind of funny, maybe, I don't know. But this is a major thing, and this is the language that's being used here. This card is similar to a credit card, and the president carries it on his person. Before it can be read, the opaque plastic covering must be snapped in two and removed. So there's a protocol here as well, and I'm going to leave links below to this. And there's, of course, also a lot of sources given here, so you can check out the information in there. But should the president decide to launch the nuclear weapons, he or she would be taken aside to the carrier of the nuclear football and the briefcase opened. Once opened, the president would decide which attack options, specific orders for attacks, or specific targets to use. The attack options are preset war plans developed under OPLAN, or is it OPLAN? OPLAN 8010 or 8010, and include major attack options, selected attack options, and limited attack options that the chosen attack option and the gold codes will then be transmitted to the NMCC via special secure channel. As Commander-in-Chief, the President is the only individual with authority to order the use of nuclear weapons. Okay, so back in here, sorry, video cut off, but just with that video cut off, I didn't have enough memory on the phone to record the entire thing. But I think that's how constant people think it is. People think the technology, because they have such a quick access and simple access to technology, they may think also that something like a nuclear button is just something that you just flip and you go off on. Or they think that's how sudden it can be. They could just be sitting there recording and then all of a sudden it cuts off. Your life is over. There's a bomb. That's not how this necessarily works. As you can see here, it says a two-man rule applies. However, the National Command Authority, comprising of the Secretary of Defense, must jointly authenticate the order to use a nuclear weapon to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Then it goes through this phone call, it goes through the gold phone, it goes through this process. So even though the president has the authority to initiate it, somebody else has to verify it. They cannot veto it, as it said here. But later on, also the vice president and other cabinet heads of Congress or Congress can also declare the president unable to actually make the order, so it doesn't have to go out. So when people are out here freaking out about what's going on, I think I have to remind myself, people literally mean figuratively. Even if they accuse Trump of literally meaning a button, their fear, their outrage may be figurative. I don't really think they necessarily mean, they actually think he's going to press a button and just fire off everything, and everybody's just going to sit by and allow this to happen. Now, if you do think that, I think it's good that you're out there on social media expressing your expressing your consternation and your anger, but I hope you're doing more, because if you are right and it's just a simple button and Trump is as crazy as you think he is, then you should probably be doing more, and I hope you are, because if you do and you stop him, then yeah, that's good. If I'm right, and a lot of other people I consider to be much more sane on this issue are, and it's a very complicated issue with North Korea. North Korea can actually seriously harm a lot of people in Seoul. Sure, they might not be able to just bomb the entire United States of America, but they can hurt a lot of people in South Korea right there. Those lives also matter. Now, I know Asians are very invisible to people when it comes to politics, but I think it stands to, a lot of people stand to gain a lot by learning a little more about the little that is known about North Korea, and understand that it is in the world's biggest open-air jail. When people talk about how horrific situations have been, I think once we look back in history, and once some information comes out of what's been happening in North Korea, people will see what a frightful situation that it's been there. Now, that shows that, yes, you can have a homogeneous culture, you can have an Asian culture, you can have all these things, and that does not necessarily make you a happy, excited place. Part of the struggles that you have here in the United States of America, I mean, in the United States of America, here in Kenya, here in other countries in the world, are not, it's not exclusive to one race, not exclusive to one peoples. It's part of the human condition, the striving between good and bad. Now, if you think this man is completely dangerous and needs to be stopped, please go out there and do more than retweet his stuff. Like you say, people come out and say, oh, Trump needs to stop tweeting and doing something and spend his time doing stuff in the actual world that actually does it and affects things. So in this situation, would you want him to stop tweeting and actually pushing the button, or would you rather he just be tweeting? And you personally, would you rather just be tweeting or actually go out and do something more effective? So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Have you guys tried to push the button of the people who are talking about pushing buttons? Try to get them to think, like, actually answer you. Do they actually think it's like a one-step button thing? Like I said, the space thing, space bar, space bar, space bar. Do they think that? Do they think that's what's going to happen? Like, you just press space bar and all the missiles go off. I don't think that's what it is. Now you look at something like this, talking about body shaming. Yeah, that's what you can put on for Donald J. Trump and from men and stuff like that. But anyway, that's this video for today. I just don't really understand what's going on with this thing. I don't understand the consternation of people there. I think you guys should check out the links I'm going to leave to the Michael Malice talks and try to find more information about North Korea. And I think I might also leave something with maybe Bill Whittle. I don't know. We'll see. Links below. Like, share, and subscribe. Hope your 2018 is going well. Links to the merchandise store. I'm going to open a Patreon or something soon so I can try to make some more out of this channel. Okay. Goodbye.